Hello everyone, how are you all doing? Hope you are all having a nice and relaxing Sunday afternoon, and welcome to another FPL video. So it's been a while since I last did a video. It's been couple of weeks full with preseason friendly games, lots of interesting games. I managed to watch some of them fully, others I only caught some highlights and things like that. So today I'm gonna share with you guys my team for GW1 as it stands at the moment. I think I'm almost ready for the gaming to start. I think I've mostly nailed the players that I'm happy to have in my team. Most of the players anyways. I'm only left with a couple of spots left to choose to fill. So yeah, we're gonna go through the team today. So that's the plan. Thanks everyone for watching. I appreciate it. Also, I will probably make a Premier League video in the next couple of days as well. I'm gonna predict the Premier League table for next season. So who's going to win the Premier League, top 4, who's going to finish in the European spots, who's going to get relegated, best player, biggest surprise, biggest flop, and things like that. So if you are interested about a video like that, make sure to stay around in the next couple of days. So yeah, now let's start for today. So this is my current team for Gaming 1. Like I said, it's based out of fixtures, but as well pre-season. Some players that inspired me and showed a good pre-season so far are in the team. Others players that I at the beginning I thought would be good based on the price they're set at, I have removed in the meantime. So yeah, here is the current team. It has a fairly strong bench with Ben Chilwell currently on the bench, so he's a more expensive player that I currently have in the team and is on the bench at the moment. Also in the first team, as you can see, there are a couple of changes from the last video as well. So in the midfield, I still have the three. So the two Arsenal players, Saka and Martinelli. Also Bruno Fernandes is still in the team. Like I said, Man United just signed a striker yesterday, Højlund. So with that striker being signed, I do think that Bruno Fernandes becomes a good FPL option, possibly even a better one than Marcus Rashford. And I think Bruno will have a very good season with lots of assists potentially. So currently he's in my team and I'm happy to have him. I might transfer him out, but we'll talk about that later. Haaland obviously is still in the team, and Estupinian and Gabriel have been pretty much set and forget in my starting 11 for Gimmick 1 since the beginning of when I started making drafts. The rest of the team has had a couple of changes here and there, so Onana is the new goalkeeper that I have in the team. Like I talked, I believe, in the previous video, as soon as I heard that Man United are about to sign Onana, I thought that I'm going to have this goalkeeper for Gaming 1 at the price of 5 million. I think it's worth investing 0.5 more and getting a huge upgrade on any 4.5 million goalkeeper. So what does Onana offer? Well, first of all, I really think that Man United's defense is going to be one of the, if not the best defense in the league for this season. I truly believe that. I think Man United's biggest strength is the defense. They are not so prolific in the attack. Preseason has shown this as well. They don't really tend to score that many goals, but they have kept lots of clean sheets, and I think they will keep lots of clean sheets next season as well. So at the price of 5 million, what does Onana bring? Well, he brings, like I mentioned, lots of clean sheets, but also he's a ball-playing goalkeeper. He likes to come out of his goal line. He likes to pass the ball around, be included in the starting of every attack. So what does that mean for FPL? Well, it basically means bonus points, I believe. I think he's going to, anytime he keeps a clean sheet, he's very likely going to be into the bonus points as well. So I predict lots of big point hauls, like games where he easily gets 9, 10 points and all of that. So I do think that at the price of 5 million, he's a no-brainer for me. He's going to be in my Game Week 1 squad, and who knows, he might even stay until I use my wildcard, maybe even after that as well. We'll wait and see. So that's the first new player I believe in the team. Also, I have put in John Stones in the defense as well, mostly because he also, like Trent Alexander-Arnold, has been playing in the out of position midfield role for Manchester City. He scored a goal in their last preseason game as well, so he's an interesting option at 5.5, and I got him in the team at the moment. Eberechi Chiesa is the new player in the midfield, as you can see on the screen. So he's 6.5 million, and if you follow the preseason friendlies, he's been amazing so far. He's gotten loads of assists, a couple of goals as well, and with Wilfred Zaha leaving Crystal Palace, I think he's going to be their talisman, their most important player for this season. Now, when we first look at the fixtures, they kind of look difficult. When you see Game 2, they play Arsenal, and we immediately think maybe it's not the best to go for their players. But for me, when I actually look at the fixtures, I think they are a lot better than they appear in the first place. I do think Crystal Palace tend to play quite well against Arsenal, and I think plus they're at home, so they're going to bring the game to Arsenal in Game 2, I believe, and they might very likely score a couple of goals as well. And like I said, Eberechi Chiesa is their talisman, is their most important player, so he's currently in my team for those reasons at the price of 6.5. Now, yes, I know that I don't have a Breton attacker at the moment, and Breton have probably the best starting 2-3 fixtures, I would say. But the problem I have with the Breton midfielders and attackers at the moment is the fact that I just don't know which one to go for. They have 2 or 3 players in every position, and their manager is the type of manager that just enjoys constantly rotating around players, so it's a real headache to decide who to go for. Even in their preseason, Mitoma is playing a couple of games, but Mitoma recently hasn't been quite prolific, I would say. He doesn't really convert his chances, he misses lots of good chances, so that's why I'm hesitant to get him in the team at the moment. I was looking at Encico potentially, but he hasn't really been a part of the preseason team. I'm not sure why. Also, Solly March was an interesting differential option for me, but once again, he's not really playing in preseason that much. Once again, I'm not sure why. They also have 3 strikers, so they have Danny Welbeck, they have Joao Pedro, who is a new signing for them, and they also have Ferguson, so lots of competition in that spot as well. So I'm just not sure what the starting lineup for Breton will look like, and that's why I decided to go for someone like Eberechi Chiesa instead of a Breton midfielder. So that's the reasoning behind that pick. So also the formation, as you can see, I currently have 3 strikers. In the preseason games that I've watched, teams have been dominating and scoring loads of goals. So that's why I switched towards 3 attacker formation. I think there are lots of points in the attackers for the start of the season as we get further down the line in the season that might change and teams might become stronger defensively, but for the start I do think that there will be quite a few goals in the first couple of game weeks, so going for strikers seems to be the way to go. So Oli Watkins is still in the team. Aston Villa have a friendly today, so I'm going to watch this game to see how Oli Watkins will do. I like this player because even though he's what's the percentage of him owned, let me just check, it's like 15%. Even though he's 15% owned, he still feels like a super differential pick for me. I don't think many people have him in their team, so that's why I like him. I also think that Aston Villa are going to be the surprise package of the season. They look quite strong as a team, and they have quite a nice run of fixtures in the first 5 game weeks. So that's why I have Oli Watkins in the team, and Nicholas Jackson is the new player in my squad for the moment, so I'm playing around with this player. I like the way he looks on the field. He's been getting loads of returns for Chelsea in pre-season. He plays as a number 9 with Nkunku going around him, so I think it's good to have a Chelsea attacker at the price that they're set at. So 7 million for someone that plays for Chelsea is quite good. Now, the first fixture against Liverpool, it might look hard on fixture on paper, but I don't think this is a hard fixture. I think Liverpool obviously have struggled defensively as of late, so I do think that Chelsea will bring the game to them this season in Game Week 1. So maybe the West Ham away is going to be the harder fixture for them, and then they have a good run of fixtures all the way until Game Week 8. So that's brilliant, and like I said, he's really impressed me in pre-season. And one more thing I'm trying to find out is who's going to be the penalty taker for Chelsea. That could be very important as well, and it could sway me in my decisions of whether to go for Jackson or Nkunku. So I'm hoping they get a penalty in their next friendly game. Fingers crossed. So yeah. So now, this is obviously, I said, on the bench. I currently have Chilwell, and I plan, if I have him in my team, I do plan to bench him for the first 2 game weeks, and then he might be ready for me for game week 3 if I do end up staying with him. Also, Rickon Henry is in the team as well. He's had a couple of assists in pre-season, and Brentford had a good season last year, so I do think that they might continue with their form in this year as well. So yeah, this is the team at the moment. Now, this morning I watched the Liverpool game, the preseason friendly, and the one against Leicester. The scoreline was 4-0 for Liverpool, so another game in which Liverpool dominated. And I watched the game. Defensively, they were shaky. Leicester could have scored a couple of goals, but attacking wise, they were amazing. They created loads and loads of chances. Darwin Núñez, he scored another goal. It was a deflection or a rebound from the goalkeeper's save, but he still got there. So he's had quite a nice preseason. Quite a few games in preseason in which he scored lots of goals. I believe he's had like 4 goals and 1 or 2 assists in the last couple of games for Liverpool. So also Salah, he got 2 assists as well, so he's in a good form as well. So I think the one thing that's missing in my team at the moment is a couple of Liverpool assets. And that's the one thing that I am trying to change. So let's go to the transfer tab and let's look at my plans. So like I said, this is the one thing that I'm trying to change until the game week 1 deadline. So trying to fit in one or maybe even two Liverpool players in the team. My focus is on the attackers mostly because, like I said, they have. I think they will score loads of goals and they will be a very strong team at the start of the season. So my three top targets from Liverpool at the moment are Trent Alexander-Arnold, Salah, and Darwin Núñez. Trent is still playing in the midfield position, so he's super attacking like he was at the end of last season, so that hasn't changed. That makes him quite a interesting FPL option. Like I said, if he was playing at the fullback position, I was probably not going to go for him at the price of 8 million, but now I am super tempted by him. And also I'm trying to decide whether I should go for Salah maybe as my second premium, or maybe even go for Darwin Núñez. So I'm trying to fit in those three players in the team, and here is how I think I might do that. So first let's look at how I would fit in Mohamed Salah if I decide to do that. So I think I'm set with my Arsenal players. I'm not going to rotate these two players around. I'm going to start the season with them most likely. The one position in which I would I would have to make a space for Salah would be to remove Bruno Fernandes. I like Bruno Fernandes for the start of the season. Sorry, my voice. I'm losing it slowly. So I like Bruno Fernandes for the start of the season, but obviously I do think that Mohamed Salah might even get more points than him in the first couple of games. So if I get in Salah instead of Bruno, I would obviously need to find some funds in the rest of the team to do this move. The first obvious thing to do is to remove Ben Chilwell from the team because he's 5.5 and I do plan him to keep him on the bench. So I could remove him and then potentially look to add him in the team in Game Week 3 when I plan to play him anyways. So I could remove him and I could go for a defender that's 4 million, so the cheapest defenders in the game, and that defender for me would be Baldock from Sheffield United, based on fixtures, plus the fact that he's nailed, I believe, and he scored a preseason goal as well in the Sheffield United's last friendly fixture. So he has a couple of good fixtures at the start of the season, Game Week 1, 2 and 4 in particular. So I would look to get him as one of my bench options in the team. And then unfortunately, if I do want to go with Salah, I would have to remove Ollie Watkins from the team as well to fund this move. So I could remove Ollie Watkins, and now the problem is deciding who to go for in this spot. So the only players that I could think of that I would be interested in potentially in this situation would be either João Pedro from Brighton for 5.5 million. He might be on penalties for Brighton, and if he's the first choice striker, then he might be a good option, but I'm not still sure that is the case. I have to wait and see. Hopefully the last preseason friendly game for Brighton will show us what's going to happen with him, but he could be a good option. He could be an amazing option actually at the price, but I'm not quite sure he's going to be starting every single game. So he's the one option that I might add to the team to fund the move for Salah, or if I'm not sure he's going to be starting every game, then I could just switch the formation around to a 3-5-2, and then in that case I would add a 4.5 attacker. I'm thinking this guy from West Ham, he's had a good preseason as well, so I could add him for the bench, and then instead of João Pedro I could look at uh, another midfielder, and once again I'm looking at Brighton. That midfielder could be Zico potentially, but it's the same problem as Joao Pedro. I'm not sure this player starts every game. I'm not sure the amount of minutes that he gets. So that's the problem that I have with Brighton at the moment. But I would go for something like this if I do end up with Salah in the team, or another. Let me just go back. Another option for me is to not go for Salah, is to go for Darwin Núñez instead as the attacker from Liverpool in form, and that could allow me to potentially get Trent Alexander-Arnold as well. So that's the other option that I'm looking at, and that one would go like this. So I would have to decide whether to remove Jackson or Oli Watkins for Darwin Núñez. So let's remove Oli Watkins once again at the moment. So if I remove him, I could go for the Liverpool striker in form, Darwin, 7.5 million, in the team. And then also once again I could remove Ben Chilwell to get some extra funds for the 4 million player from Sheffield, Bullock, and then instead of John Stones, who, to be fair, I'm not sure Man City keep a clean sheet in these two first fixtures. Burnley, yes, it might look like an easy fixture on paper, but it's going to be hard for Man City. I think it's going to be the first game of the season. Burnley is playing at home. The crowd's going to be up for it. Burnley will be attacking, I think, because their new playstyle under their new manager has been super attacking. So I wouldn't be surprised if they score a goal against Man City. And Newcastle also could very likely score as well. They've been one of the better teams in the league last season. So I could potentially remove John Stones in this case, and I could add Trent Alexander-Arnold in his place instead. Let me just remove. So if I do this is an interesting option as well, and obviously I would keep Trent for the first two game weeks. So as you can see, I have the exact funds for this. It would be a 3-4-3 once again, and I could just keep Trent for the first two game weeks. Like I said, I would have him for the Bournemouth at home game, and then in game week 3, in game week 4, where Liverpool have a harder fixtures for a clean sheet, I could very easily downgrade Trent to Ben Chilwell or pretty much any other defender that emerges in the mid-time. So yeah, those are the plans. That is the team. So like I said, the only focus for me at the moment is to fit in some Liverpool players, and I have to decide if those players will be either Salah or Núñez and Trent. But other than that, I'm set with my team. I think I do like how it looks, and I'm hoping that you guys will tell me what do you think, what do you change, do you like players like Eze, Jackson and Watkins, so differential players, or do you think I should go with the crowd and go with the safer picks, so getting players from Brighton, getting players that most people own, and all of that. So yeah, please let me know down below, and yeah, that's all for today. Thanks for watching, and I will see you at the next one. Peace.